The alphorn or alpenhorn or alpine horn is a labrophone, consisting of a wooden natural horn of conical bore, having a wooden cup-shaped mouthpiece, used by mountain dwellers in Switzerland and elsewhere. Similar wooden horns were used for communication in most mountainous regions of Europe, from the French Alps to the Carpathians. For a long time, scholars believed that the alphorn had been derived from the Roman-Etruscan lituus, because of the resemblance in shape, and because of the word liter, meaning alphorn in the dialect of Obwalden. There is no documented evidence for this theory, however, and the word liter was probably borrowed from 16th–18th century writings in Latin, where the word lituus could describe various wind instruments, such as the horn, the crumhorn, or the cornett. Swiss naturalist Konrad Gesner used the words lituum alpinum for the first known detailed description of the alphorn in his De Rarische Admirandis Herbus in 1555. The oldest known document using the German word alphorn is a page from a 1527 account book from the former Cistercian Abbey Street, Urban near Pfaffenau, mentioning the payment of 2 Batzen for an itinerant alphorn player from the Valais. 17th–19th century collections of alpine myths and legends suggest that alphorn-like instruments had frequently been used as signal instruments in village communities since medieval times or earlier, sometimes substituting for the lack of church bells. Surviving artifacts, dating back to as far as California, AD 1400, include wooden labrophones in the stretched form, like the alphorn, or coiled versions, such as the buckle and the Allgäuisches Waldhorn, or ackerhorn. The alphorn's exact origins remain indeterminate, and the ubiquity of horn-like signal instruments in valleys throughout Europe may indicate a long history of cross-influences regarding their construction and usage. Construction and qualities. The alphorn is carved from solid softwood, generally spruce but sometimes pine. In former times the alphorn maker would find a tree bent at the base in the shape of an alphorn, but modern makers piece the wood together at the base. A cup-shaped mouthpiece carved out of a block of hardwood is added and the instrument is complete. An alphorn made at Rigi Kulm, Schweiz, and now in the Victoria and Albert Museum, measures 8 feet in length and has a straight tube. The Swiss alphorn varies in shape according to the locality, being curved near the bell in the Bernese Oberland. Michael Pretorius mentions an alphorn-like instrument under the name of Holzentrommel in Syntagma Musicum. The alphorn has no lateral openings and therefore gives the pure natural harmonic series of the open pipe. The notes of the natural harmonic series overlap, but do not exactly correspond to notes found in the familiar chromatic scale in standard Western equal temperament. Most prominently within the alphorn's range, the 7th and 11th harmonics are particularly noticeable, because they fall between adjacent notes in the chromatic scale. Accomplished alphornists often command a range of nearly 3 octaves, consisting of the 2nd through the 16th notes of the harmonic series. The availability of the higher tones is due in part to the relatively small diameter of the bore of the mouthpiece and tubing in relation to the overall length of the horn. The well-known Ranz des Wegs is a traditional Swiss melody often heard on the alphorn. The song describes the time of bringing the cows to the high country at cheese-making time. Rossini introduced the Ranz des Wegs into his masterpiece William Tell, along with many other delightful melodies scattered throughout the opera in vocal and instrumental parts that are well suited to the alphorn. Brahms wrote to Clara Schumann that the inspiration for the dramatic entry of the horn in the introduction to the last movement of his first symphony was an alphorn melody he heard while vacationing in the Rigi area of Switzerland. Music for alphorn. Among music composed for the alphorn, Concerto Grosso No. 1 for 4 alphorns and orchestra by Georg Friedrich Haas, Sinfonia Pastorella for alphorn and string orchestra by Leopold Mozart. Concerto for alphorn and orchestra by Jean Detoile. Concerto for alphorn No. 2 by Detoile. Dialogue with Nature for alphorn, flute and amp orchestra by Detoile. Concerto Rustico by Ferenc Farkas. Begegnung for 3 alphorns and concert band by Kurt Gabel. Sommerweg Blues among many compositions by Hans-Jörg Sommer. Alphorn music. Metaphor Alphorn Unsure by Franz Schussel. Alphorn Center. Wolf music. Tapio for alphorn and echoing instruments by R. Murray Schafer. Bob Downs and Amp The Alphorn Brothers by Bob Downs. Open music, very possibly described as a lituus in BB. Cantata BWV 118 O Jesu Christ, Mains Lebenslicht.